What up YouTube, welcome back to Omni Garage. So today we've been lucky enough to receive a shipment of air tools from PCL down here. We're going to do a little bit of an unboxing and see what we've got.
So Amy from PCL sent us a few different tools to have a play with here. So we are going to have a few different videos of the goodies in this box, so make sure you hit the subscribe button to stay tuned for everything else inside here.
The old digital tyre pressure gauge here.
We've got a tread depth gauge, which is going to come in really handy to check out how much tread we've got remaining on the tyres.
And there's a few other tools in here, but we'll look at these ones first, and then we'll make another video on the other couple of tools.
So make sure you hit subscribe to stay tuned for those.
Alright, so the first product we're using is the PCL digital tyre gauge, and this product's been advertised to have an accuracy of roughly about 1%. The good thing about using this is that you can change the units that you measure your tyre pressure in, so you can measure in PSI, you can measure in kPa, or you can measure in kilograms per centimetre squared. So let's turn it on and see what we get.
So if we hit the on button there, it self-calibrates itself, and it will auto shut off after 30 seconds as well, which is quite cool. So you can hit the PU on here, and it cycles through those 4 different units of measurement that were just mentioned. So we have used the different brands tyre inflator to blow up the tyres on here to around about the required specification, which on the STi is 230 kPa for the front tyres. So we'll get a reading on here and see what the PCL is telling us we've got. So we'll measure here in kPa, and we should have 230 on these front tyres. So we're reading 240 there. So what's great about this is that you can slightly let this off, and it will let pressure out of the tyres. So we're at 236, 233, 232, 230 bang on. So we can deflate to get that absolutely perfect. So this feels really high quality. It's got rubber around the actual gauge and also rubber on the handle. So you'd imagine if you are dropping this on a driveway, you probably don't want to do it, but if you do drop it, it's not likely to break. It feels really high quality. All of the fittings on here feel really nice. The chuck that you're putting onto the tyre also feels really nice, and having the digital gauge with the accurate reading makes this really handy to go around to make sure that you've got the right tyre pressure in each of your tyres. So we'll check the rear tyre as well, because we were completely out on that front one with the other gauge that we've been using. I want to make sure that we've got the correct tyre pressure all the way around the car. So we'll flick that on. We're in kPa again, and it should be 220 on the rear here, and we're sitting at 226. So we'll let a little bit out there. 220 bang on. So we'll check the right hand rear here. Should be 220. See what we read on the PCL gauge. Reading 221. Perfect, so we bang on that one there. Come around to the front and see what that one's got, and that should read 230 if we correctly inflate it. Bang on 230.
Okay, so you've just seen us go around and check all 4 tyres with the pressure gauge. The next step in tyre management would be using the PCL digital tyre depth gauge, and this gauge can measure in a few different units, so that you can either measure in millimetres or you can measure in inches. I think today we'll be measuring in millimetres, so let's give it a crack. Okay, so we're all ready to check the tread on the tyres here, so we just want to turn it on, and we want to make sure that we're at 0 so we can calibrate it there. 0. We want to make sure that the black gauge there is right against the tread to get an accurate reading. And there we have it, 7.50 millimetres of tread on these tyres. What I liked about this is that this gauge here is digital, gives a nice digital printout of how much tread we have on there. The other sort of gauges we've been using have more of an analogue sort of measuring stick along the side, and it's quite hard to get an accurate reading of how much tread you've got. So this is nice and easy, simple to use. Okay, so to check it on the other tyres, we just want to make sure that we put this on 0, and we can put it nice and flat on the tread, push a little gauge down, And there's our digital reading there, 7.88 millimeters. .16 millimeters. And we've got 7.89 there.
So the first product that we tried was the Digital Tyre Pressure Gauge from PCL. So there's a couple of quirks about this that I really enjoyed. So the first thing is the rubber casing. I didn't initially think that I would like having a tool that had a separate chuck from the actual digital gauge. However, in using this and going around the car, it is quite nice to be able to pop the chuck onto the tyre and not have to be on a particular angle to get a reading on your gauge. So you can twist, you can turn it. It's quite a clear thing to read. Talking about reading it and it being clear, that digital gauge there is absolutely fantastic. To be able to cycle through your different units, even though this one here is typically going to be used in KPA or PSI, it's nice to be able to cycle through the different options. This is also encased in rubber, so I know I can be quite rough with this. I can drop it on the driveway and there's going to be no issues around longevity of this product. It would be nice to have a little hook on the back there in order to hang this in the garage. I do like to hang my tools, but there's really no issue laying this down flat in a drawer versus storing it on the wall. That would just be a nice to have.
Alright, so the second tool we tried was the digital tread gauge, and although the build quality of this is plastic, it's not as strong and as robust as the other product we tried, so you do need to be a little bit more careful with this, dropping it, etc. But what I liked is the digital display made it nice and clear when you're reading your tread depth. It's really easy, simple to use. What I would like about this product is maybe the back of this to have a bit of a magnet on it, so you could stick it onto your tool cabinet or you could hook it up. But I suppose if you just had a tray sort of design toolbox, then you could lie it on there. It's small, it's compact, really easy to use.
So these two products here, we don't have the official pricing for each country, but you're looking at about somewhere around the $80 US mark to get both of these tools in your cabinet. So I think for about that price point there, these are two tools that if you're serious about making sure you're driving around with the right tyre pressure, you should have these in your arsenal.
So once again, we'd just like to thank PCL Air Tool Technology for sending us these products and letting them try us out. We really appreciate that, and hope you guys enjoy the feedback that we've created. So we'd like you all to like, comment and subscribe to keep the content coming back from Omni Garage.
Yeah, we'll have some more air tools in an upcoming video, so make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on all the other goodies we've got to come. Thanks for watching.